What's up guys, Random Razor here with another tech video for you guys today. Anyways, just got this in the mail today from UPS, ordered it off the Apple Store online, called the Speck Seethru Clear for the 15-inch MacBook Pro. And you know, I thought new computer, might as well get another new case for it, and decided to give the Speck one a shot because it's definitely one of the most popular hardshell cases for the MacBooks. But anyways, this is the clear version, not color, you guys can see here. And it's made for the 15-inch MacBook Pro, of course. It says black keyboard, October 2008 and newer models. Says see-through, sleek, form-fitting protection for your MacBook Pro. And the other one's in French. Another shot there. The back here just gives you some specs, what it offers, what it does, diagrams, how to put it on. And in small print on the bottom here, just tells you every month to remove the case to give it a cleaning to prevent dust buildup and stuff like that. So, and also it's made in Taiwan, which is not made in China. Well, I guess same thing. But anyways, yeah, it's just the packaging here. So let's open this thing up and see what we all get. There we go. All right, so here's the bottom piece. Like I said, it's a clear plastic. Put that off to the side just for a second. And here's the top piece. Alright, pretty awesome. Put that off to the side, and I think that's pretty much all you get. Yep. So there's the box there. And here's the protective case itself. So you guys can see it's a clear plastic. This is definitely far different from the in-case one I had. And you guys can see those 4 dots there are rubber feet to prevent or keep the case, you know, cushion on the edges when it's on your MacBook. I got the Speck logo on the bottom there. And there's actually, you guys can see there's a plastic protective film on the top here to protect the case for packaging. And here's the bottom piece here. Looks like we got some instructions on how to put it on and stuff, and how to clean it. And also got 4 built-in rubber feet, which are far larger, or are larger than the ones on the in-case. Got a small vent, and for some reason this part isn't cut out, but I guess they chop that up to let more heat flow through the case itself. And that part there just says designed in California, made in Taiwan, and just, you know, instructions on cleaning it like we mentioned. So let's install this thing and see how it's like. Alright, so you guys can see here we got the case installed. It's fairly easy. You snap on the top, snap on the bottom, and pretty much good to go. And I've actually been using this for about 3-4 days now. It's been yeah, about 3-4 days since the unboxing part of this video. But after I've been using it, I do have to say it's a pretty awesome case, and Speck has done one hell of a good job putting this case together in terms of their manufacturing process. And yeah, it's an awesome case, and I definitely am very happy with it. And in comparison, of course, to my in-case hardshell case I got a few months ago, I definitely have to say the Speck one is a lot more better, and of course I'll get into why by the end of this video. But it's just a quick tour of the case. Like mentioned, it's the Clear Edition, and the nice thing about this is it keeps your overall look of the MacBook Pro, of course with the exception of adding a nice glossy sheen to it, which I actually do like a lot. If you're wondering what these bumpers are, like I mentioned earlier in this video, or the unboxing part, these are just little bumpers for to cushion the case when you snap it on. And one of my big concerns with the Speck Seethru Clear that I thought was going to make me return the case is the fact that it is clear plastic, and all the clear plastic stuff I've ever experienced with, you know, packaging, you know, products, stuff like that, they always scratch extremely easily. And I don't know what Speck has done, but they literally just polish the hell out of this case. It's extremely smooth, and it's kind of like a, you know, when you polish a car, it's that, you know, same smoothness. So it's very resilient to scratches, and the nice thing about that is that it'll keep the overall look of the MacBook without having a bunch of scuff marks on the top of the case. So yeah, well, at least it's better to have that on the case than the MacBook, of course. But anyways, of course, you got the Speck logo on the bottom here, and what holds the top case together, of course, is 5 large clips. There's one on this side. Let me just focus on that. So you got one there and one on the top, or I mean 2 on the sides, 1 on the top, and 2 on the other side here. If you do get this case, make sure you have the clip on the top side, as this is the only clip on the long edge side of the lid. So there's none on the bottom here. If you flip it the other way around, the issue with that is, for a lot of you guys probably open the MacBook like this. So if you had the clip on the bottom, you actually, when you lift the MacBook Pro up, the case actually flexes up a bit. So I don't know if you guys can see this, but you guys can see it does flex up a little bit, so that's why the clip should be on the top part and the Speck logo facing downwards. Anyways, yeah, that's the top piece, and the other thing, of course, is Let me just close this window, it's affecting my camera. Alright, there we go. So the top piece does add, of course, another kind of like a border around the MacBook. Doesn't really change much of the look or anything like that. It doesn't bother me at all. So, but anyways, that's pretty much the top portion of the case. And like I mentioned, extremely smooth, polished case. So the it will scratch, there's no doubt about that. But like I mentioned, it will keep its look longer, and it's fairly resilient to scratches, which is good. Anyways, on the bottom piece here, like I mentioned, like I mentioned earlier in this video, the bottom piece is held on by 4 clips, one on this side, one on this side, and 2 on the back here. Just focus on that. Another one over here. So it's a little bit different than how the in-case snaps on. The in-case has 2 clips on the front here as well, except the in-case one clips on through the hinge here rather than the sides. But the one thing I like about the Speck one is that the back sides here are nice and snug against the MacBook side. So the in-case one, I don't know if I showed you guys in the in-case video, but there was actually a slight gap. The back side actually was on an angle, so there's actually a fairly large gap between the case and the back of the MacBook. So that was a little bit concerning because stuff and stuff can't get inside very easily. But the nice thing about the Speck one, it's nice and flush, which I'll show you guys when I flip this thing over. But yeah, it's held on by 4 clips, very secure. For those of you who have the Moshi palm guard, it does fit with the Speck case on, doesn't bubble it up or anything like that, if you guys can see. And on the front here, we just got pretty much a perfect cutout for the remote sensor. Of course, we don't need a cutout for the sleep and awake light. And a large cutout here, flush cutout actually, for the cutout on the MacBook for your thumb to lift the lid open. And on the other side here, you actually have a built-in battery indicator, so if you hit that, the lights shine through without any issues, of course. Large cutout for all your ports, so everything's all exposed. For those of you who have the new MagSafe power adapter, of course, the case, or the newer model case, fits it without any issues. You guys can see here, it does have a slight angle to it, and they purposely did that because when you put the top piece on, you're actually adding another edge on the border of the lid here. So when you move the lid open, you guys can see the lid just clears the MagSafe, and you know, if Speck did not add that little extra angle to it, it'll rub against it, which I don't think it'll hurt it or anything, but it'll just rub against it, which probably is not good. But yeah, anyways, that's the bottom part of the case, so we'll just flip this thing over now. Alright, so you guys can see here, I got the MacBook on the book arc here. I thought this would make it easier to record the bottom part of the case. But anyways, you guys, the first thing you probably guys notice is the 4 large rubber feet, which are clear. And yes, I do have the clear packaging still on it. Actually, I'll probably remove it later on. But yeah, the 4 rubber feet here, they're very they're bigger than the MacBook ones, of course, and they're a lot more stickier. What I mean by that is when you have it facing down, it sticks to the table more, so it feels a lot more secure than the ones built in on the MacBook. I got a large vent here for the heat to dissipate out of the case here. A lot of the heat does dissipate through the MacBook Pro body itself, so Speck was smart enough to actually engrave some vents into the back part here, as well as provide a large opening on this side here, which I assume is where most of the heat would come out of the MacBook. On the top here, you guys can see the back piece here. Let me just focus on this. Is it's a lot more thinner than the rest of the case, and that's so when you flip the MacBook Pro or the lid open, the MacBook has enough clearance to go over the back part here. So unlike this in-case one, which did not do this, Speck was smart enough to do this, so the case does flip open all the way, and you don't get that clicking or rubbing against the case like the in-case one. So that's you know, I guess another smart thing that Speck caught on as well. The one thing I will note though, the bottom piece here, at least with mine, is slightly flimsy, and I'll be right back. Alright, so you guys can see here, the case is actually slightly a bit flimsy on the bottom here. It's not like super flimsy, but you guys can see it does flex a little bit. It's not a huge deal. Most of the time your MacBook would be facing right on the table, so dust and stuff will probably not enter in there anyway. But that's just one thing to know. It's not like a perfect fit, but it's a near perfect case, I will say about that. Anyways, here's just another shot of these sides here, and you guys can see it is engraved in, so their new MagSafe can fit. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And for those who have the book arc, this does fit in the book arc, which is really awesome as long as you use the secondary rubber fitting instead of the one that's made for the MacBook Pro, because that one will not fit. Alright, so you guys can see here, it's a pretty awesome case, and yeah, it's upside down right now, but nonetheless, I'm very happy with this in comparison to my in-case one, which I've been making a few comparisons in this video. I will say the Speck one is a lot more better, the craftsmanship's better, the quality's better, and the overall look with the clear is definitely nicer in my opinion, as it keeps the MacBook Pro look even more. But yeah, it's just I never had a Speck product before, so that's why I was a little bit reluctant at getting the Speck ones, because I never had their products before. And in comparison to the in-case, yeah, like I mentioned, I think it's a lot more better, and there's a reason why the Speck one's a little bit more popular than the in-case one. The fit's better, functionality is better. I think Speck has taken a lot more time and effort putting this case together, as they caught everything, with the cutting the back part out so the lid can open all the way, the MagSafe, just everything about the case. Speck has put a lot of effort into it, and I'm definitely very happy with that. It's definitely worth the investment if you're getting a MacBook Pro or already have one. Hey, so if you guys have any questions or comments about this case, ask away in the comments page, and I might make a separate video showing a comparison between the in-case and the Speck one if you guys want to see that. That's pretty much it for this video. Hope you guys enjoy this. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button on the top there, and I'll see you all next video. Peace.